Hello, one and all. Once again, this is another edition of How I Would Book It WWE 2015. We are ready for another edition of Monday Night Raw. Live. I believe the show, from what the game tells me, is live today, or tonight, in the American Bank Center in Texas. Where in Texas? I haven't the faintest idea. That's why I never talk about it. So as you can tell, the show starts off with Randy Orton in the ring for the first time officially in the ring by himself. No Seth Rollins, nobody. Talking about the last 5 months. Sitting on the shelf since November because of Seth Rollins and the Authority. And this is what Randy has to say. 5 months ago, the beginning of November to be exact, the Authority turned its back on me because of that ungrateful punk, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has gotten everything given to him on a silver platter. From Money in the Bank to now being the self-proclaimed future of this company. For the last 3 months, all I've heard is how John Cena is a failure and Randy Orton is a coward. Seth Rollins, last week I told you that I don't fear you. Last week I told you that when I stood on that stage right up there, I was gonna come down to this ring and beat your ass. I came down to the ring and you ran away. You are the coward, Rollins. When you don't have the Authority backing you up, you're nothing. And I proved it. And I'll prove it again. Because do you actually believe that I'm gonna let you off after you tried to end my career? Do you believe that this was the end of it? That it was the end of it when I came back at Fastlane and downed you with an RKO? You thought that was the end of it? They never taught you anything, Seth. Because Fastlane was just the beginning. I promise you that. Fastlane was just the beginning. And the next time we're together in this ring, I promise you, I'll make you my bitch. This leads to Seth Rollins. Sorry, my game is a little slow today. Oh, I apologize. No, it's actually Noble and Mercury. Noble and Mercury, J&J, come out. Take a guess what the reason was. But Noble and Mercury come out, and they are talking for Seth. More so, Jamie Noble. Because, answer me this, have you ever heard Joey Mercury talk? So, exactly. You know. Um, so Jamie comes out and basically runs down what Orton's done over the last year. That being something like this. Randy, you come out here and you run down how the boss has never earned anything himself. Well, Randy, isn't that exactly what you did? Aren't you Seth Rollins? And isn't Seth Rollins just following the same path of being given everything just like you did? And also, Randy, think about it. Over the last year, Seth Rollins has won Money in the Bank. By himself, by the way. Seth Rollins has effectively decimated and destroyed the Shield. And Seth Rollins bought in to the Authority. And you're just jealous because you lost your spot. Before Randy can respond, this happens. God, I wish my fucking game would. Sorry, pardon my language. I don't know why. There it is. Seth Rollins comes out from out of nowhere and attempts to attack Randy Orton, but Randy sees him coming, and Randy ducks out. Because Randy says he basically says no, not on your time, my time. And also think about it, J&J was in the ring too. It would have been 3-on-1. So Randy takes advantage of the opportunity to squirm away from Seth Rollins because he's Randy Orton. And you never know when he's going to strike. Now we continue on with the announcers giving us another update on Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho, the update they give is that Chris Jericho went for testing over the weekend and was cleared to return to action. And we'll be here tonight to address and find out who attacked him last week. Now we move to the opening match of the night, Ryback versus Curtis Axel. I guess you could say the legitimate reason why Ryback is competing is because he hasn't been seen since he lost to Rusev on at Fastlane, so I wanted to bring him back and give him a win. And if WWE can make Ryback vs. Axel, so can I. Decent opening match, good way to start. So now we move to the next segment, Stephanie McMahon. Following the commercial break, Stephanie McMahon comes out to make an announcement. Stephanie talks about something like this. Since for the last 4 months, 4 divas have been in the title picture. Nikki, Brie, Paige, and the WWE Divas Champion, AJ Lee. Over the last 4 months, almost 5, these divas have done everything in their power to make each other's lives a living hell. They have all fought and clawed and done everything in their power to try and win the WWE Divas title, but AJ Lee has kept that title safe and secure for 7 months now. But because our WWE Divas division is prospering and getting bigger by the day, we need to finish this. So, we have a big event coming up. WrestleMania 31. And at WrestleMania, we will see AJ Lee defend the WWE Divas title against Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige in a fatal 4-way. Which is this announcement. And this will be all three of those divas' last opportunity. That is Paige, Nikki, and Brie's last opportunity to take the title away from AJ. Because after WrestleMania, someone new will be challenging for the WWE Divas title. I promise you that. Now we move on to the next segment, which is a match that I thought would get a lot better. A jobber I brought in, named the Destroyer, against R-Truth, which I thought was going to get a lot. I thought the match was going to get a lot better, but it didn't. So let's just move on. Chris Jericho comes out and cuts a promo which would lead something like this. Last week I come to this show looking at this show as nothing more than just me coming here for the highlight reel to bring back the show that I made famous, my talk show, my Piper's Pit. But when I came out here, I had Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and they talked and they spoke, and I even had an altercation with Paul Heyman. Fact of the matter is, I did my job. But after I went backstage, I was assaulted by another wrestler. Let's rephrase that. I was assaulted backstage, and I came here tonight to find out who. And if that person that attacked me is going to be man enough to stand face to face and admit to what he did. And instead of attacking me again, stand in this ring face to face with me like a man. Let's go. Who did it? Then we hear an old familiar voice come over the come over the speakers, and it is Kevin Owens who says, "So you're Y2J. You're Chris Jericho. You're the so-called legend. Chris, I am the one who attacked you last week. Because you are exactly what you don't want to be. You are my stepping stone. I came here to the WWE to become the superstar that everybody always thought I could be. And I'm gonna make my name off of you. And that's not a threat, that's a promise." And then Kevin Owens as Kevin Owens is saying this as he walks to the ring, and he finishes with the promise, and then he slaps Jericho across the face, which leads to this. A pull-apart brawl between Chris and Kevin Owens, which brings out referees, agents, the whole 9 yards. And they separate them. We do the job where I probably had Billy Gunn and a referee bring Kevin Owens to the floor, maybe a couple other extras with him. Jericho would break from the people that are holding him back and do a dive out on Owens and take out everybody but Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens would be the only one left standing, and he would walk away with a smile on his face because it would look like he got the better of Chris Jericho. Move on. We move to the next match, which is another unfortunately underwhelming match between Goldust and Luke Harper. I don't know why it's underwhelming. Nah, what are you gonna do? But this match leads to this. Oh, come on. I can't keep saying it and have it just stay on the other segment. There we go. Following his match and the victory over Luke Harper, Goldust's father, Dusty Rhodes, comes out. And Dusty is talking to Goldust about what happened at Fastlane between him and his brother. And Dusty says something like this. Yes, I would give Dusty some control, mostly control over what he says, but I would just give him this little bullet point to say that, look, I might not have been there for you when I was in the ring, but I'm here for you now, and I'm here to figure this out and iron out whatever problems my boys are having. Because I'm not going to have it where my boys are fighting. So, Cody, Stardust, whatever you want to call yourself now, come on out here and let's straighten this out. This is where he calls out his son. And here we go. Dusty, speaking from the heart, that's what, as is Dustin. Dusty's asking Cody, why? Why did you attack your brother? What is the problem with your brother and you? What's going on? Mine. And then Dustin adds, Cody, we're just here to help. My name is Stardust. I'm not Cody Rhodes anymore. Cody Rhodes is dead. And it's all your fault. You say you're gonna be here now. It's too late, Pop. Because I am not your son anymore. I am Stardust. And it is your fault that your son is dead. And he pushes Dusty to the mat. Goldust, right when he does that, Goldust gets in his face, but then goes to check on his dad. But then turns away and goes to check on his dad. As Cody's standing there laughing, and Cody walks out. Following segment is the announcers putting over the fact that our main event is Kane versus Randy Orton. You had to figure that, didn't you? Now we move to the next segment, which is the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow. The reason why I chose to have Miz and Mizdow compete against the Usos is because of one reason. I'm turning Mizdow face after Miz turned on Mizdow and walked away. Right now we don't know why, but we will. We will find out. There we go. Now we move to the next segment with Booker T interviewing Roman Reigns. And Booker T asks, Roman, if you have one word that you could say to all your critics, what would that be? Hate me if you want. Love me if you do. But fact of the matter is, come WrestleMania, I'll be the one walking out with the WWE World Heavyweight title. Whether you like it or not. Believe that. Which leads to Brock and him saying that leads to Brock and Paul interrupting. Brock is here tonight. Brock has this appearance and the week before Mania, as there's only 2 appearances left before Mania. Paul is back, and no words are exchanged. Nothing. It's just a heated confrontation between Brock and Roman. That's it. Just a heated confrontation between Brock and Roman. That's all it is. Nothing more. Nothing more, nothing less. Now we move to the John Cena Open Challenge. John Cena does, however, before he issues the Open Challenge, he makes a note about the fact that he, right now, has no match for WrestleMania. But he does say that he's working on it. And Kofi Kingston accepts his challenge. Cena obviously comes out on top. I apologize. I don't mean to make it seem so obvious, but whatever. Now we move to the next segment, which is Triple H, Seth Rollins, and Kane backstage. And they're talking about the Randy Orton problem. They're talking about the fact that they thought Randy was done, that Randy would not come back, and they didn't expect that Randy would be coming back, but he did. And now Seth has a big problem. Because he has to deal with Randy. So Seth and Triple H tells Kane, take care of the Randy Orton problem tonight. We'll be ready to help. Kane says nods. Then we move to the interview position with Renee Young and Dolph Ziggler. Renee looks at Dolph and asks, well, Dolph, just out of curiosity, why did you want this time? Renee, I wanted this time because I wanted to make this a personal message to Daniel Bryan, because I know Daniel is not that much of a talker as he put it. So how about instead of using your ears, Daniel, use your eyes. Tonight, I'm going to show you exactly what I'll do to you the next time we get in the ring. All you have to do is watch. Which doesn't... It doesn't take that long for Daniel to accept, because following the break, guess who comes out to do color? Daniel Bryan. And the match is Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger. I know you're probably thinking, where's Jack been? Think about it. Do you really see Jack Swagger that much in the WWE? So is it that abnormal for me to be using him very sparingly, much like they do in WWE? I don't think so. So, yeah. Well, as you probably guess, this match is just designed as another way to push Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. As I would probably have either Michael or Booker ask Daniel, in his mind, what does he think, when does he think that a match between him and Dolph Ziggler would take place next? Daniel says he doesn't know, but he is working on something, and will be laying out a challenge to Dolph Ziggler this Friday night on SmackDown, so tune in. Yes, that's a cheap plug to get people to tune in. Now the Bella Twins are backstage talking about Stephanie's announcement earlier tonight, saying that they believe it's unfair, that it's a fatal four-way because Paige doesn't deserve a title shot in their opinion. And they continue to say that, well, Nikki says something to the effect of, WrestleMania, Brie, it will be the Bella's night, and it will be the Bella's chance to prove why AJ never was fit to be champion, and why we are the face of the Divas division, not the freaks. And why we belong at the top of the division and not the freaks that are there right now. And then we move to the next segment. I'm not going to change how I say it. I'm not going to change how I say it until WrestleMania, when it's over. Because this is how they did it, and it worked. I might have a little bit of a tweak. I might. But let's see what happens. Fact of the matter is, you know what I'm going to say, because I've said it every time for the last month that Bray has cut a promo, and it is that Bray would write out the promo, all I would do is okay it, that's it. But I would have him make sure that he includes this, that he says something to the effect of, tune in next Monday, because this, pointing to what he was building, you will find out what exactly it is. Dead man, you don't want to accept my challenge? Well, maybe when you find out what I've been doing, you'll accept it then. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it, that I will be your end. And I will become the new face of fear. Find me. Sorry, I get a little caught up. The main event, obviously, as you saw earlier in the show, is Randy Orton versus Kane. Randy Orton wins in a solid match, dragging out a good match from Kane. And that leads to this. The Authority attacks. Seth Rollins distracts Randy long enough for the J&J security and Kane to capitalize on the attack. And knock down Randy. And knock down Randy. But then this happens. As the Authority, including Triple H and Stephanie, who walked down to watch it, As the Authority continue to pound down on Randy, the lights go down. The Scorpion comes up on the Titantron. That only means one man. The lights come back up, and Sting is standing in the middle of a WWE ring for the first time. And Randy and Sting has a baseball bat for Randy, and they are going to town on the Authority. Except Seth Rollins and Triple H, who escape up the ramp. But Kane, Jamie, and Joey take swings from the baseball bat and then roll out of the ring, and that leads to Randy and Sting standing face to face in the middle of the ring, staring each other down, and that leads to this ending last segment with both Randy and Sting holding ball bats, and Triple H, Stephanie, and Seth on the rampway, and Randy and Sting turn towards the rampway with the ball bats in hand and point with the ball bats at Triple H and Seth as the show goes off the air, and the stare down continues with Hunter looking like he saw a ghost because he never thought that Sting would be standing in the middle of his ring. And Rollins is confused too, for obviously the same reason. It just keeps getting better and better and better, guys. Better and better. Every week is we are rolling and rolling and rolling. For the first couple weeks, it was rough. But since the beginning of February, everything has been going as planned. Everything has been rolling along. And it just feels awesome. It feels awesome to be able to say that my direction got over and it's working. And as we draw closer to WrestleMania, everything will come to everything that has been building will come to fruition. Just wait and see. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me tonight, today, whenever you're watching this. I hope you enjoyed and see you next time.